Fortification 1. Noah. Should I start with Noah? I don't want to scare you away with a forlorn flood and what might seem like an unhappy ending. Oh, but I must start here. Noah is the top of the top 40. He is possibly the best-known 40 story. And this is the first time the number 40 is mentioned in the Bible. Think 40 days and 40 nights, and rain starts to fall in imaginations all over the world. Yes, we'll start with Noah. Grab a life jacket. I think the story of Noah is awesome, but it is also sad. Basically, as we open this story, God is looking down upon the earth, and he is disgusted by humankind. All he sees is evil. He looks to the left and sees evil, turns to the right and there's more evil. His heart is broken because when he made men and women, he made us good. Originally, he had looked at humankind and he was proud of his craftsmanship, and he loved us. Along the way, we chose to listen to some strategic lies of the biggest liar of all time, and everything has broken down since then. God allows us to choose him or not. It sometimes amazes me that God didn't flush the whole human race right then and there. But God had something else in mind. He looked for something good, and he found something worth salvaging. He seems to like doing that. In the days of Noah, when all God could see was that nobody had chosen him, he looked again and noticed Noah. While God saw that the earth was like a sewer, filled with the filth of anger, violence, hatred, lies, and sickness everywhere, he also saw that Noah was a man of integrity. Sound moral rectitude, among other good qualities, saved Noah and his family, and ultimately humankind, from perishing in the great flood. God instructed Noah to build an ark and to take his family on board. He was also instructed to take 2 of every kind of animal aboard with him. There would be a male and a female of each kind of animal, so they could repopulate the earth after the flood. They took extra, more than 2, of certain birds and the animals used for sacrificing to God. Now consider this. Noah lived in a dry land, a place where it hardly ever rained, kind of like Arizona. It took him a very long time to build the ark. I've heard it took 120 years to build this supersized boat. God was giving the people ample opportunity to choose him. But instead of choosing God, people came from all around to laugh and jeer at Noah while he constructed this unbelievable megaship. I wonder if Noah ever wondered when the rain was going to begin. 120 years? Did he ever doubt that he had heard God correctly? I suspect that I would have doubted from time to time. Following through on short-term projects is hard enough. Noah was probably encouraged when the animals started showing up. And imagine his amazement when birds and animals that he had never seen or heard of began to arrive. Wow, what wonder and joy! I would have enjoyed that part of the ark experience. Then finally, down came the rain. The skies broke open and emptied all their water onto the earth. The water also came up from below, from underground springs. For 40 days and 40 nights, the water never stopped flowing. God washed the world clean with the flood. The whole earth was covered with water. Noah and his family floated high above the mountaintops for a very long time. I don't think the ark landed on a mountaintop for about a year. But you know what it is like to stand on saturated ground. You sink deep into goop. So they could look at the land and long to get off the boat, yet they couldn't walk on the land for a long time. That must have been tough. Noah's family was locked tight in that boat. Ugh, can you imagine? After a week, our family would be going nuts. Did I write a week? Now on top of the family dynamics, think about this. Everyone else they knew was now dead. All their friends and extended family members died. But really, they had probably been among those mocking the ark and Noah the whole time anyway. Realizing the devastation, there must have been much tension and mourning in the ark. I would imagine that prior to the flood, Noah had tried to warn all the people about the coming danger, so they could talk to God and be saved too. After the flood, it must have been awful to know that they were the only humans left on the planet. A lonely responsibility. 8 people left to repopulate the whole earth. Then one day, something special happened. A symbolic moment. God put a big, fat, glorious rainbow in the sky. I love rainbows. I bet this was the best rainbow of all time. Maybe it was a triple rainbow and filled the whole sky. God did this as a covenant with Noah. It was God's way of guaranteeing that he would never again destroy the world with a flood. That rainbow probably brought Noah and his family great peace. Without that colorful guarantee, imagine how they would think and feel the next time it started to rain. Oh no, here comes another flood. Of course, the smart aleck part of me can think of many other ways for God to destroy the world other than by another flood. The bigger point is that God would rather offer us a rainbow of reconciliation. Yes, God could destroy the planet. He's God. Instead, he chooses to offer us a brand new day. Okay, still on the boat. Noah had approximately somewhere between 16,000 and 50,000 animals on the ark. Nobody really knows for sure. It is not recorded. And the windows had to be shut for a long time. It was probably hard to breathe in there. P.U. Here is a sad fact. All the animals, insects, and even birds that didn't get on the ark were now dead too. If there had been 1,000 elephants on Earth, 998 were now drowned. If there had been 100 toucans, 98 of them were now dead. Bummer. I can't imagine that all the fish died, though, since they can swim. Then again, was it freshwater or saltwater? And can fish switch from one to the other? I don't totally understand this part of the Bible. Why this happened to the animals. Humankind was supposed to take good care of, steward the earth and the animals. When we made bad choices for ourselves, it affected geology and biology too. But this is not one of the topics I am going after today. I will still have many unanswered questions for God when I get to heaven. Thank God I will have all of eternity to get them answered. Thank God that he is patient and kind. Yes! Part of the stuff we are supposed to learn here is that Noah heard God speak and followed God's leading in obedience and trust. Noah built the ark and helped God preserve the human race. God gave the whole world a bath, a new start, a second chance. There was a new beginning. And that could, should, would have been a good thing. But here is a verse from the Bible that is so weird that I'm just going to put it in this chapter so you can see it with your very own eyeballs. This is what happened once they landed on dry ground. And so the new downward spiral began. Noah, a farmer, was the first to plant a vineyard. He drank from its wine, got drunk, and passed out, naked in his tent. Genesis 9:20 MSG, short for an easy-to-read translation of the Holy Bible. New beginnings have all the potential to go well. Noah is a very good role model overall, but he also had his faults. We must make every attempt to learn from Noah and do even better than he did with the second chances given to us. We should always be prepared ahead of time for the next challenge. Since there is a potential to make mistakes, let's plan to have multiple strategies to avoid them. Each chapter ends with a few thoughts and questions to stir up your spirit, mind, and imagination. This section will probably raise more questions than it will answer. Be patient. Over the next 40 chapters, more and more questions will be answered, but not all of them. I have included many references, books, conferences, and websites where you can go for more information when you are finished with this book. These chapters should end up making you aware that there is a lot to think about Christianity and the Bible. In the end, you will probably find that you have an appetite to keep learning more about God. He is a God so big and amazing that He should easily hold our attention for the rest of our lives. Okay, here we go. When God was looking to the right and left and seeing nothing but evil, what types of behavior was He witnessing? How did that make God feel? Had He created humankind to be evil? What were God's original thoughts about the people He had created? What is good? Why would God give humans the free will to choose Him or not choose Him? Was that a mistake? How do you like having free will? Who is the biggest liar of all time? What had broken down since Adam and Eve chose to listen to this liar? Name some more works of evil you're likely to see in the daily news today. What are some differences between the times of Noah and the world right now? What is integrity? What is rectitude? Can you identify barriers to integrity in the world around you? How can you help to increase the level of integrity in your life and your environment? At home? At work? At school? With friends? The Bible indicates that if you can be trusted with a little bit, generally speaking, you can be trusted with more. Noah's early years aren't recorded in the Bible. How do you think Noah started out? Do you feel like God just threw this assignment on him? Or did God give him opportunities to grow into it? Do you think Noah had a choice? Could he have passed on building the ark? What are some of the things God would like to prepare you for? Are you afraid of being mocked for having faith in God? Would you like to contemplate God more, but you think people will make fun of you and block you? What are some ways to get to the other side of this difficulty? Are there other things blocking you from getting closer to God? Name some and discuss how you can get past them. Is a clean new start a guarantee of a perfectly healthy new life? How can we increase our level of success when we start out on a new path? List some strong strategies for avoiding the downward spiral. Your turn. Make up a few questions. What questions didn't I ask that you think would be interesting for thought and discussion? Tip: avoid asking questions that can be answered with the words yes or no. In each chapter, think of extra questions. Write them down in case you work through this book with a group of people. Note: this text has been influenced by Genesis, chapters 6 through 9. Endnote: 1. NIV Life Application Study Bible, Tyndale House in Zondervan, 1988 to 2005. 19.